First one is called Clans of Midgard, and this one is a draft and write fighting card game where players are going to be dealt a hand of cards at the start of the game. You're going to be drafting one to keep with you, and then you're going to be passing the rest to the player next to you. This continues until all the cards have been drafted, and then players are going to be simultaneously revealing those to gain their benefits. There's a whole bunch of different effects that the cards can grant. They can either give you different resources, which you'll then be using to activate other cards in your hand to fight monsters for resources, or using your other cards to deploy Vikings out on the map, because this game does also have a area control element to it, where the player who has a majority of Vikings at a location is going to be granted victory points, while the other players are sent to Valhalla with some compensation in the form of resources. The game plays for 3 rounds, and then the player with the most victory points at the end wins the game. And the other game offered in this campaign is called Reavers of Midgard, and this is a resource collection game where players are going to be starting with an identical hand of location cards, and then each round there's going to be different resources assigned to each of the different locations. Players will then be simultaneously revealing one location card from their hand in order to visit that location, and if you're the only person to visit that location, then you get all the resources there. Otherwise, you need to negotiate with the other players there in order to decide who gets what. If players aren't able to come to an agreement, they not only get nothing from that location, but there's also some negative consequences as well. The game continues like this over a set number of rounds, with players trying to collect those different sets of resources in order to score the associated victory points, and the player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins the game.